had a hard time.
Yes.
Maybe life has been a little bit rough for you these days. I don't know when you're watching this, but whenever you're watching it, you are here for a reason.
And we are here to talk to you about something important.
Yes, it is called speaking life. Some people call it prayer, some people call it affirmations. The bottom line is it is positivity through words. We went live and we wanted to share that video with you.
But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, y'all.
Sparkles and I had the chance to do a live video, and it was all about positivity, and it was all about speaking life. And maybe you don't know what the term speaking life is. It's all about speaking positive words over yourself and others.
Sometimes we get ourselves all upset, all sick about crazy things that we really shouldn't even be thinking about, worrying about. And oh, Fulana was talking about me, and oh my gosh, my work sucks. I hate my work. Is it almost time for lunch? Or oh, this child doesn't behave, or all the craziness.
And sometimes the drama is real. I mean,
For
sometimes
sure,
there's some shit that's
happens.
happening. We had some major shit go down in our families, in our personal lives,
Yes.
that were really, really hard to deal with. And, you know, sometimes it gets real hard to make it through the days and to continue to be positive. For someone like me who has actually struggled with depression and anxiety, and I'd like to be real about this, I like to share openly about this, because I feel like so many people on Instagram and on Facebook and just on social media in general, they focus on the great things in life. Oh, life is so wonderful, life is so great, but they don't focus on what it takes to actually live in that great life and what it takes to actually get in that great life. I like to be as real as possible, and I have struggled. And in the last couple of months, like, I've had some really, really down times, and I have a community of people, really, really close people, who don't let me stay in the hole for long, who, you know, recognize that after I've poured into people, I need pouring into. And I really wanted to talk about that. I'm trying not to get emotional, because a couple of weeks ago, I was literally on the floor in my bedroom, and I get a call from my business partner, my homegirl, and she's like, "Hey girl, what's up?" And, you know, even though she has major shit going on in her life too, she's like operating at this level, and I was just in such a dark place that I couldn't even speak. Now, can you imagine what kind of dark place I need to be in, where I can't even speak, but I was there.
Homegirl wasn't even able to talk, so I knew she was not in a good space.
Who I really am.
Yes.
And we want to do that for you today.
Yes.
We want to speak life over you today. If maybe you've had a hard week or hard month, we want to speak life over you. We want to remind you today that you are exactly in the space, in the place that you are supposed to be in order to grow into the very next level of your life. And you don't even have to believe it right now, because at that time I was not in the space. I told her, "Sparkles, I know who I am. I just don't feel like her right now. I can't grasp that feeling." But that's okay. You don't have to grasp the feeling today. Because we're speaking life over you. We're telling you, we're here to remind you that you are not bound by your past, that you are not bound by the lies that maybe people have spoken over you, that you are an incredible human being, meant for great things, destined for incredible things, and you just need to hold on just a little bit longer. Hold on and get ready for your blessings.
That's right. One of the things you talked about was social media. And you see all these wonderful things, you see amazing pictures. Guess what? Sometimes these people totally are not living this. And you have to understand that. So don't get caught up with that. If you're starting to feel like, gosh, you know, Betsy Bell down the street is living this amazing life, and you're just like thinking, damn, my life's tore back, this and that. No, you have to start saying to yourself, you know what? I don't care what I'm seeing on social media or what my family or friends are telling me about their lives or whatever. You feel in your pit of your stomach and you start to think, I am destined for greatness. I am destined to be able to be an amazing student. I am not going to fail in my courses this coming semester that's going to come up. I can become the nurse, the doctor. I can become whoever you desire to be. This is for you today.
That's right. I'm telling you today that you have the money in your bank account to pay those bills.
Yeah.
I'm telling you today that you have the money to pay for the food that's going to go on your table today.
Start
I'm telling you
speaking it.
that is true. You have it. You are it. You are living it.
Right.
Do not doubt for a minute that you are exactly where you are supposed to be.
Right.
You can do anything that you set your mind to. One of the best things ever is being able to be in a space where when somebody says these things and they speak these things over you, you can instantly believe it. But sometimes it's not instant.
Right. And guess what? Sometimes it takes a couple of days for you to start thinking about what you heard or what you said. And if it was good and it was strong and it was positive, that's what you want to keep in here. But if it wasn't good, if someone spoke something over you that wasn't refreshing, if it wasn't making you feel good, then guess what? Throw that shit out now. You don't have to listen to it and accept it. If someone talks to you about they don't like your behavior, or they don't like this, or they don't like that, there might be envy. Cut the shit out.
Oh, you don't like the way I look? You don't like the way I talk?
Too
You don't
fat, too skinny.
You know what? You have eyeballs. Put your eyes somewhere else.
Right.
Because I'm going to be me.
That's right.
I'm here to be me. I'm here to live out my own magnificent journey. And if you can't handle it, you can't handle it.
That's right. Sometimes Angel and I get these comments, and it'll be sometimes like things that are, most of the time it's always very positive. Sometimes we'll get one about perhaps like, oh, aren't you guys a little too old, or this and that. You know what? You're never too old and you're never too young.
Absolutely. You are exactly where you are supposed to be.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Right.
Not that you're going to be perfect and not make mistakes, but you are a perfect creation.
Right.
You have not been created with flaws. You're going to make your mistakes. You're going to fall. You're going to stumble, but you will have been made perfect.
Yes, and you're destined for greatness. And I always share this, and I always share that, you know, nothing is impossible, because that's true. It's a word. That's a word of God. And, you know, some people don't like to hear that, and that's okay. Whatever you want to receive from this today, take it. But the thing is, we're here to share with you, you can do whatever you choose to want to do in your life. Nothing's impossible. Get started.
That's right. And I'm so grateful to have my homegirl who, when I couldn't grasp my own magnificence, when it felt out of my touch, when it felt unavailable to me, and I have an amazing life. And I want to share with you that in spite of all of the amazing things, in spite of where I live in LA, I have every opportunity set before me, and I know that. But in spite of knowing that and living in that truth, for 99.9% of the time, that 1% took me down. It was hard, but I have a person, and I have several people in my life that will continue to speak life over me. And even when I was like, I don't believe it, I don't feel it, something inside me believed it. Something inside me believed it. And I want to tell you that little granito, that little mustard seed, it grew, because within days, I was not only out of my own funk, but then my outside world started to change.
Yes.
I am not like here telling you woo woo. I'm telling you real life. Yes, it was like, oh, snaps.
Get your head out of the damn dirt already.
Yes. Once you change your mindset, you start to notice that things change. And it wasn't small changes, y'all. It was like miraculous changes. Like changes that take you from one way of living into a whole other way of living. So we've spoken life over you. You may not feel it right in this minute, but you will feel it. You will feel it. It's Friday. By Sunday, this life that we've spoken into is going to take root. And if you let it, if you continue to seek out right living, right people, right vibrations, right words, right mindset and thinking, you are going to experience life changes.
That's for sure. And selecting your tribe, you know what? We always talk about tribe, comadres, you know, your circle of friends. It's important because if you're hanging out, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna be really real here. Because a lot of you guys, you know, gravitate to people that are, you know, flowing at the same level. So if you're already depressed and you're flowing with Debbie Downer, guess what? Chances are it's going to be very difficult for you to come out of this pit. So we really recommend align yourself with people who are positive, who really you enjoy being around, that when you're with them, they make you laugh, they bring you joy.
Absolutely. Get yourself in that vibration of laughing. Get yourself in the vibration of moving to the best of your ability, even if you're wheelchair bound.
Yeah.
If you're wheelchair bound, get
sure.
yourself in the vibration of smiling. Go
Yes.
put yourself on something that makes you laugh.
You make you look ridiculous and laugh. For goodness sake, laugh at your damn self if you have to.
100, because it's funny.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure that you reset yourself. You reset. You started ready.
Yeah.
Accepting that good is yours. Good happens. I don't care what's going on in the news.
That's right.
Don't watch the news.
Yeah, if the news is making you more depressed, because let's face it, there is a lot going on right now regarding even the weather and the crazy things that are taking place on this universe. That can be very depressing. It can be scary too if you don't change up here. So you have to say, you know what? The universe will do the universe. I cannot change that. But what I can do is to only work on myself and change myself. So you start working on thinking, okay, I'm going to find my own joy. I'm going to start working on this. And yes, for some of you guys, this might be very hard. This is not a real easy thing for some people to do. But guess what? You can start today by looking in the mirror and find something amazing about yourself. I don't care if it's just your eyelid. The thing is that just do you and allow yourself to be happy. Empowerment can come from yourself because you choose to want to change. But empowerment comes from words as well. What words do you choose to want to keep in here and in here? And what words don't work for you, you can take them out because you have that power.
Absolutely. And it's so much harder to take out than put in. That's right. So we want you to learn how to put in, how to receive the right words in your life.
Right.
Thanks so much for joining us. We know that you can be doing so many things with your time, but you chose to spend it with us, and we appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Watch our other videos that are like-minded. Al rato!